you are, we welcome you. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Lake County. We're glad you're here today. My name is Alexandra Ligon, and I'm your worship associate for today. My pronouns are she and her. Please join me in thanking Terry for the lovely music, which we kind of did. Thank you very much, Terry. That was great. And a special thanks to our audiovisual team for our weekly services here and on Zoom. Thanks to Doug and Dustin in the booth today. And can we greet those on Zoom, Dustin? There we go. Good morning, everybody, I think. Are we hooked in? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, good deal. Good deal. It's hard to tell. Sorry. Alrighty. And let's see. So first, a couple of brief announcements. Let me remind you, please, to silence your phones. Reverend Kristina Spaude, our speaker today, will share her thoughts on Waters of Life, Water Ceremony and Gathering, as we celebrate our annual Water Communion. And our guest musician, Sal Cangelosi, will sing River of Dreams by Billy Joel during the ceremony. Next Sunday, October 20th, Rev. Karen Anderson will be with us on video. The Sunday morning discussion preceding the service will be emergency response in Lake County, getting prepared for medical emergencies during natural disasters, and it will be led by Peggy Keller. Are there any other announcements? Please come to the podium or stay where you are and someone will bring a mic to you. Any other announcements? Please come.
I just wanted to remind everybody that after the service today is the lunch bunch at the Eustis Marketplace, 24 East Magnolia Avenue in Eustis. Please come and join us for fellowship and chatting. And good food. There's all kinds of eateries.
Any other announcements? No, thank you all very much. Okay, we humbly acknowledge that our church is located on the grounds originally inhabited by the Timucua First Nation peoples. We are committed to being in partnership with all First Nation peoples in the stewardship and protection of their cultural resources and sacred homelands. We own our responsibility to care for this land as they have, as our Mother Earth cares for us and for all living things. And now, our opening words by Reverend Kristina.
Our opening words this morning come from Kimberly Ann Tomzik Carlson. This is a place of belonging and caring. It is not by chance that you arrived here today. You have been looking for something larger than yourself. Inside you there is a yearning, a calling, a hope for more, a desire for a place of belonging and caring. Through your struggles, someone nurtured you into being, instilling a belief in a shared purpose, a common yet precious resource that belongs to all of us when we share. And so you began seeking a beloved community, a people that does not put fences around love, a community that holds its arms open to possibilities of love, a heart home to nourish your soul and share your gifts. Welcome home. Welcome to worship. Come, let us worship together.
I would like to ask Dawn, would you do me a favor and come and light the chalice for me? Thank you, darling. Please join me now as we begin our service, as do all UUs worldwide. And Dawn will light our chalice as we consider these words. Fire and water, ancient opposites. Sun and ocean, the cradle of life. Dancing flame and dancing river. We invoke them together today as we light our chalice flame.
if you would repeat with me our congregational covenant, perhaps I will not quote Blake this time. Love is the spirit of this church, and through service we live our principles. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Our opening hymn this morning is Return Again. With Indigenous Peoples Day tomorrow and this congregation's commitment to conservation and environmental causes, and the ways that we here in Florida experience regularly some of the extremes of the climate crisis, I wanted to find a way to honor these things as part of our service today. I found this video featuring 2 Indigenous people telling the story of how the climate crisis is impacting their communities and all of us.
Sister of ice and snow, I'm coming to you from the land of my ancestors, from atolls, sunken volcanoes, undersea descent of sleeping giants.
Sister of ocean and sand, I welcome you to the land of my ancestors, to the land where they sacrificed their lives to make mine possible, to the land of survivors.
I'm coming to you from the land my ancestors chose. Islang Kainan, Marshall Islands, a country more sea than land.
I welcome you to Nunaat, Greenland, the biggest island on Earth.
With me I bring these shells that I picked from the shores of Bikini Atoll and Brunette Dome.
In my hand I hold these rocks, picked from the shores of Nuuk, the foundation of the land I call my home.
With these shells I bring with me a story of long ago. 2 sisters frozen in time on the island of Buyay. One magically turned to stone. The other who chose that life to be rooted by her sister's side. To this day, the 2 sisters can be seen by the edge of the reef, a lesson in permanence.
With these rocks I bring a story told countless times, a story about Sesuma Amna, mother of the sea, who lives in a cave at the bottom of the ocean. This is a story about the guardian of the sea. She sees the greed in our hearts, the disrespect in our eyes. Every whale, every stream, every iceberg are her children. When we disrespect them, she gives us what we deserve, a lesson in respect.
Do we deserve the melting ice
the hungry polar bears coming to our islands, or the colossal icebergs hitting these waters with rage. From one island to another,
I ask for solutions. From one island to another,
I ask for your problems.
let me show you the tide, coming for us faster than we'd like to admit. Let me show you airports underwater, bulldozed reefs, blasted sands, and plans to build new atolls, forcing land from an ancient rising sea, forcing us to imagine turning ourselves to stone.
Can you see our glaciers grown with the weight of the world's heat? I wait for you, here on the land of my ancestors, heart heavy with a continuous thirst for solutions. As I watch this land change while the world remains silent.
Sister of ice and snow, I come to you now, in grief.
Mourning landscapes that are always forced to change. First, through wars inflicted on us.
Then through nuclear waste dumped in our waters.
On our ice.
And now,
This. Sister of ocean and sand, I offer you these rocks, the foundation of my home. May the same unshakable foundation connect us, make us stronger than these colonizing monsters that still to this day devour our lives. The very same beasts that now decide who should live,
who should die? Sister of ice and snow, I offer you these shells and the story of the two sisters as testament, as declaration that despite what we are told, we will not leave. We will choose stone. We will choose to be rooted to this reef forever. From these islands,
we ask for solutions.
From these islands,
we ask, we demand that the world see beyond
ACs, SUVs, their pre-packaged convenience, their oil-slick dreams.
Beyond the belief that tomorrow will never happen, that this is merely an inconvenient truth.
Let me bring my home to yours.
Let's watch as Miami, New York, Shanghai, Amsterdam, London, Rio de Janeiro, and Osaka try to breathe underwater. You think you have decades before your home falls beneath tides?
We have years, we have months before you sacrifice us again, before you watch from your TV screens and computer screens to see if we will still be breathing while you do nothing.
My sister, I offer you these rocks as a reminder that our lives matter more than their power. That life in all form demands the same respect we all give to money.
That these issues will affect each and every one of us. None of us is immune.
And that each and every one of us has to decide if we will rise.
Each Sunday we make time for those who wish to offer a joy, concern, or sorrow, or to set an intention for the coming days. If you would like to take part in our stone ritual, you may do so in silence by placing a stone or stones in the sand at either of our 2 stations, one in the front and one in the back. Following this time, anyone who has a joy, concern, or intention that you wish to share aloud with the congregation, you will be able to raise your hand and someone will bring the mic to you. You may begin. Would anyone care to share aloud?
Had a joy. Wasn't here last week because I was ill. But last Sunday was my wedding anniversary, 51 years. That's an accomplishment to be married to the same person that long.
Good morning. I am going to be gone next Sunday, and the joy is that my grandson will be turning 1, so I'll be in Alabama.
All right. If there is anyone who has not been mentioned that you hold concern for, please feel free to name them aloud at this time. Those attending by Zoom may unmute briefly. We will now enter into a time of silent meditation, being mindful of the joys and concerns that we have heard. Take a moment to find a comfortable posture if you can, and let the chime draw you into mindfulness. Following this time, Terry will lead us in our hymn, Find a Stillness.
at UUCLC to give generously to our church, keeping in mind both its meaning in our lives and its impact on the world. There are several ways to donate listed on the screen. Following the service, there will be a collection box at the exit door for you to give if you wish. We thank each of you for supporting the work we are here to do together. And now, here is Reverend Kristina with a reading followed by today's message.
I snuck in an extra reading, so there's 2 of them today. Our first is from Judy Brown. This is Trough. There is a trough in waves, a low spot where horizon disappears, and only sky and water are our company. And there we lose our way unless we rest, knowing the wave will bring us to its crest again. There we may drown if we let fear hold us in its grip and shake us side to side and leave us flailing, torn, disoriented. But if we rest there in the trough, in silence, being in the low part of the wave, keeping our energy and noticing the shape of things, the flow, then time alone will bring us to another place where we can see horizon, see land again, regain our sense of where we are and where we need to swim. And the second from Dr. Clarissa Pincola Estes, this is Rainmaker, You Could Be the Water. By the scent of water alone, the withered vine comes back to life, and thus, wherever the land is dry and hard, you could be the water. Or you could be the iron blade disking the earth open, or you could be the acequia, the mother ditch, carrying the water from the river to the fields to grow the flowers for the farmers. Or you could be the honest engineer mapping the dams that must be taken down, and those dams which must remain to serve the venerable all, instead of only the very few. You could be the battered vessel for carrying the water by hand, or you could be the one who stores the water. You could be the one who protects the water, or the one who blesses it, or the one who pours it. Or you could be the tired ground that receives it, or you could be the scorched seed that drinks it, or you could be the vine, green growing over land in all your wild audacity. My mom tells the story of when I was maybe 16 months old. She was giving me a bath and at the end went to take me out. But evidently I was not done, and I screamed so long and so hard that I passed out. My mother panicked because she thought I'd died, and she called the doctor. I guess this is a thing that littles do sometimes, and their lungs can't keep up with it, so they just pass out. Since the first time that she told me that story, I have said that it was a warning not to ever take me out of the water. My father is a swimmer, although he doesn't really do it anymore. He was a lifeguard and swam competitively in high school, and you know it was something that he really loved because his school didn't have a swimming pool, and he had to go to another school when their team wasn't practicing to get his time in. So I remember being in and around water often. We would go to the shores of Lake Erie in the summer. I went to swim lessons for years. We always had pool passes every summer, and my grandparents even had a pond in their backyard that we would swim and canoe in. My grandfather taught my sister and I to fish as he had his own children before us, although I never really got into it. It was more just about grandpa time. After my parents divorced and remarried, my dad lived maybe a half a mile from Lake Erie, where he still lives, and driving near it became a regular practice in our family. He used to say all the time, "Let's go see what the lake is doing." And the sound of rain has always been one that I loved, although I will attest to the fact that these last couple of weeks have challenged that love a little bit. I remember one CVS I worked in had a metallic roof, and the sound of rain was so loud in there. It was rhythmic and soothing and felt like being taken away to another time, a sacred time, maybe, even in that deep seat of capitalism. Water has meaning for all of us. Our own bodies are made up of around 50 to 60% water. We need water to survive. We are also carried by sounds and smells, sights and feelings of water. And of course, we use symbolism with water for lots of things. One of our hymns uses the phrase, "Drops of water turn a mill, singly none." And another that we all know well, "Where justice shall roll down like waters, and peace like an ever-flowing stream." Water shapes so much of the experience of living in Florida, with people boating or kayaking or canoeing, swimming, lounging, fishing, touring. We go to restaurants on water's edges. We have homes overlooking some body of water. There are so many lakes and ponds in this area to appreciate the beauty of. And it's not always the lovely experiences, of course, but also hurricanes and tropical storms, along with the flooding that we sometimes have, which we are all too aware of at this time. I find at times like these, we need to be reminded of water's soothing power, as we've experienced so much of its destructive power lately. Water is a symbol of cleansing, of renewal or rebirth, of washing away, of letting go, of possibility. Being in water is where we might be rejuvenated, calmed, strengthened. It helps us with its soothing waves and sometimes gentle movements to dream. Where land and water meet, it is a place of instruction for us if we are willing to quiet ourselves and listen and watch. These areas are not just wildly rich in biodiversity and can teach us much about ecosystems. They also play a vital role in reducing damage from storms when untouched by human interference. Unfortunately, there has been a lot of human interference, reducing the amount of vegetation in coastal areas and claiming wetlands for residential, commercial, and industrial use, leaving us more vulnerable to the consequences of the climate crisis. And water is a powerful symbol, and one we use loved so much that we celebrate it every year in many of our congregations during a water ceremony and in-gathering service. This service is meant to mark the beginning of the church program year, when members and friends have returned from time away or their summer schedules refreshed. It was following a service created for the Women and Religion Continental Convocation of Unitarian Universalists, held in 1980, that the water ceremony was brought to our congregations throughout Unitarian Universalism. Carolyn McDade, who we all know from Spirit of Life, and Lucille Sheck-Longview created the service and a new ritual that, as they say, spoke to our connectedness to one another, to the totality of life, and to our place on this planet. They asked some of the attendees to bring water with them from the places they called home, and shared the significance of those waters as they poured them into a communal bowl. This was the beginning of a ritual that many of us have come to look forward to each year. It is a reminder that we are all connected, that all waters lead to the same source, and go round and round the whole world again and again throughout time. This may feel especially connecting not only regarding our place among the life and lives on this planet, but also thinking about our religious traditions that remind us we come from one love and are eventually returned to it. This year we have waters that we will pour that symbolize what is happening in our lives. On this table there are mason jars with water in them. Each jar represents a different way that we might be experiencing life right now, or just how we have felt over the last year. One has salt in it for the droughts in our lives, the sorrows and sadnesses, for times of scarcity or feeling lost, the times when life feels like it may be taking more from us than giving to us. One has lemon in it for the currents in our lives, the zest of sweetness and sour for change and travel and movement and new adventures. One has honey in it for the lapping of waves, the sweetness of life, or the soothing of being held and carried, for times when we are filled with gratitude and community and feel sustained. The last has parsley in it for the storms in our lives, the hardships and challenges such as times of addiction, mental illness, of heartbreaks and losses. There's also an empty jar this year meant to represent those who do not have access to water, including those in Gaza and Asheville and many other places. So I invite you to come up and pour just a bit from one of these jars into the bowl, the one that feels the most resonant for you. When you are done, you may return to your seat. And during this time, Sal Cangelosi was going to sing for us Billy Joel's River of Dreams. You may now begin.
life after this, God knows I've never been a spiritual man. Baptized by fire on our way to the river that is running through the promised land. In the middle of the night, I was walking in my sleep through the desert of truth to a river so deep. We all land in the ocean, we all start in the street. We're all carried along by the river and trees in the middle of the night.
For all the ways these waters represent the fullness of our lives, the ways that the people here may be experiencing any one of these things or something yet unnamed, we give thanks for this congregation where we hold all of this. Starhawk offers a blessing for water. Praise and gratitude for the sacred waters of the world, to the oceans, the mother of life, the womb of the plant life that freshens our air with oxygen, the brew that is stirred in sunlight and moon's gravity into the great currents and tides that move across the earth, circulating the means of life, bringing warmth to the frozen Arctic and cool, fresh winds to the tropics. We give thanks for the blessing, for the blessed clouds and the rain that brings the gift of life to the land, that eases the thirst of roots, that grows the trees, that sustains life even in the dry desert. We give thanks for the springs that bring life-giving water up from the ground, for the small streams and creeks, for the mighty rivers. We praise the beauty of water, the sparkle of the sunlight on a blue lake, the shimmer of moonlight on ocean's waves, the white spray of the waterfall. We take delight in the sweet singing of the dancing stream and the roar of the river in the flood. We ask help to know within ourselves all the powers of water, to wear down and to build up, to ebb and to flow, to nurture and to destroy, to merge and to separate. We know that water has great powers of healing and cleansing, and we also know that water is vulnerable to contamination and pollution. We ask help in our work as healers, in our efforts to ensure that the waters of the world run clean and run free, that all the earth's children have the water they need to sustain abundance of life. Blessed be the water. And our closing hymn, if you would please rise and sing with me, Blue Boat Home.
Far away from the rolling ocean.
me on. Greet the infinite sea before me. Sing the sky my sailor song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue home.
Our closing words come from Jean Harrison Newyar, who writes in The Gift of Faith. In the lore of ancient China, there is a story of a philosopher who was asked, "Where is the road called hope?" He replied, "It does not exist, but as people move upon it, it comes into being." I invite you to continue moving forward on this path, this journey, this road called hope with me.
Please remain standing and say together the words on the screen as our dear Dawn will extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Thank you, Dawn. Now we will sing our parting hymn, Weave. You can hold your hands together or just hold your hands outward, sending loving energy to your neighbors. And we will let Terry's wonderful music send us on our way as we leave the sanctuary, strengthened for the week ahead.